President. Senator Hammer, I've been getting a lot of questions, probably the most important one from the chairman of Pulaski County Election Commission. He raised some issues about not having enough machines on all the early voting sites. And in Pulaski County, we have both kinds. We have I still call it a tabulator type ballot, and then we have the electronic machine. Do you have an answer to the questions? And I think maybe Mr. Scott did contact you, but I wanted to verify if you did speak to him, and if I know you had an amendment, and I wanted to know if that clarified the issues that he brought forth.
It is a minor amendment that I will address on the House end, and yes, and I'm looking at the text right now that he sent me. I consulted with the Secretary of State, the Association of Counties, and the State Board of Election, and it is a minor clarification that will be taken care of on the House end. It does not deviate the intent or the major content of this bill. It just brings a point of clarification to one issue that he has raised.
Okay, and Senator, as you know, I'm a co-sponsor of this bill, and I'm certainly supportive of the overall goal to allow the counties to decide on their own what to do, but I would like to reserve the right to, once that amendment is added in the House, to perhaps maybe fudge a little bit on whether or not I support it. But I appreciate all your legislation. I appreciate your effort, and since 98% of the time I generally agree with you, I wanted to just clarify this because it is important that we get this right. But thank you for taking my question. Thank you, Madam.
You're welcome. You have my word that I'll address this on the other end. It's not the first time that somebody's signed on to a bill of mine and sponsored and then turned around and voted against me on the floor, so I'm kind of historically accustomed to that. So thank you.
Senator Dees, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator, can you give us some data? I know we've talked about accuracy of our voting machines. I think a lot of the emails, questions I've got have been related to accuracy of paper ballots versus voting machines. I think a lot of folks would like to know some of the data around that. Do you have any data about the accuracy of those machines?
I do. Thank you for that question. I was going to address this in my closing comments, but thank you for it, and I'll bring it up now. The machines, which incidentally, when it comes to the machines, remember that when they land at the county, they are audited at the time. So they run a test ballot through there and make sure that the machines are actually producing what they say they are, and that they'll take the best illustration. They'll take take 400 ballots, 250 for this candidate, 100 for this one, and 50 no votes at all. They run them through, they check the machine, they come out, and it's 100% accurate before the machines are ever put available to the public to vote, okay? And in 2020, they audited 10,000 ballots. In 2020, they audited 10,000 ballots with 100% accuracy. In other words, the machines were 100% accurate as they audit them afterwards, all right? And by that, what they do is they go in, they get those paper ballots, and they sit down and they don't run them through the tabulator again. What they do is they actually sit there and count those paper ballots, and using that process came up 100% accurate in 2020, which we all know is the election that brought the lightning rods. In 2022, so far, because they're continuing to audit, they have done 5,000 ballots with 100% accuracy of the machines. So the theories that are out there in Arkansas are not substantiated by the actual facts of what have been done in checking those machines. Thank you for the question.
Question, Senator Blake Johnson.
Senator, running the ballots through the tabulator, that's a preliminary count, is that correct?
That is correct.
And the county can certify by hand counting, is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, thank you, Senator.
Any other questions for Senator Hammer?
I'd like to tag on to that. That's counting, they have the choice to count the paper ones. Thank you.
Any other questions? Anyone wish to speak against? Senator Payton, you're recognized to speak against.